Hey everybody, I'm Diane Gale and I'm the author of the blog sustainableslowliving.com, and today you and I are going to make 3 breakfast omelets. The 3 omelets that, as far as I'm concerned, are the best breakfast omelets. It is only my opinion, of course. You may like other ones better, but these are delicious omelets. I've been making them forever, and I've been making omelets longer than I care to tell you. So most omelet recipes that you're going to find on the great big interweb are stuffed. They make the egg omelet, you know, the shape of the egg omelet, and then they put the filling inside that and fold it over. Not really a good way to make an omelet, in my opinion. You just have stuff falling all over. There's no cohesion to the flavors. I'm not a fan. And the other way is a French style omelet, and I don't know a lot about that. It's a 3-fold, and I do know that the eggs are cooked very, very, very lightly, sometimes even not completely cooked. Again, not a huge fan of the French omelet, but I learned a technique from a cook that I worked with many, many years ago. It's the technique that I use because I personally think that it's the best one. So I'm going to feature 3 different omelets in this post. Today we are going to make the broccoli and bacon and cheddar cheese omelet together. We're going to start by putting 3 eggs into this bowl, and we're going to add to it a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper and a 1/4 teaspoon of granulated garlic. I don't like to put any salt in because there is plenty of salt in the bacon. I don't put salt really in any of my omelets, to be honest. I just don't think it's necessary. The garlic and the pepper are enough. And then once we have that mixed up, we are going to take the broccoli and the bacon and throw it right in the eggs, because you want it to cook all together. And then you're just going to take and you're going to mix that up as well. Once that's all mixed together, it's time to go to the stove. I have a cast iron skillet on the stove. I turned the heat up to high. You want the heat to be on high when you first put the omelet into the pan. And I have melted a full 1.5 tablespoons of butter in here because I don't want my omelet to stick to the pan. And because you've put all of the ingredients in your eggs, that will happen if you don't have enough butter in your pan. So I went ahead and put that in there. I'm just going to spread it around until the egg reaches the sides of the pan. I'm going to turn my heat down to medium and put a lid on because I want some of that egg on the top to start to set up. Once your egg has started to set up a little bit, you're going to take your spatula and just make sure that your entire omelet is loose from the pan, because flipping this can be a little bit of a trick. Sometimes it breaks. We don't want it to break, so you want to get under there and flip it right over. That's nice and browned, and I like that. That's good. I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the cheese in on half of the omelet. This is 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese, and then I'm going to flip and fold the omelet. And there it is, you guys. You want to take it out of the pan right away and put it on a plate. And that is a delicious cheddar cheese, broccoli and bacon omelet. I am going to make the other 2 omelets. I pre-cooked the broccoli and the bacon because you want it to be cooked, and obviously the way we just made that in the pan doesn't cook it. I pre-cooked the spinach and the mushrooms for the spinach, mushroom, and feta cheese omelet because, again, they won't cook in that pan. And I pre-cooked the caramelized onion for the tomato, onion, and Swiss cheese omelet. But I didn't pre-cook the thinly sliced tomatoes. And the reason for that is when you cook tomatoes for an omelet, they completely mush out and they're just not good. So I just thinly sliced them. And when I make that omelet, what I'll do is I will put the onions in the eggs as I scramble them with the garlic and the pepper. I will cook that just like I cooked this omelet. I'll put the Swiss cheese in after it's flipped, and I'll lay the tomatoes out in the omelet cold. When I fold the omelet over, it'll warm those tomatoes enough so that you're not getting cold tomatoes in your omelet, but you're also not getting any mushed out cooked tomatoes, and it's fantastic. Okay, you guys, that is the bacon, broccoli, and cheddar. It's looking delicious. And here we have the Swiss cheese, tomato, and caramelized onion. This one is actually my favorite, you guys. Love this. That cook that I told you taught me this technique also gave me this omelet for the very first time. And here is the spinach, mushroom, and feta. Also looking delicious. So I'm going to grab some pictures, and then I'm going to come back with you, and we're going to have a taste of at least one of them. Okay, so I have taken pics. These are ready to be eaten. There's only 2 of us, so I guess we're going to have some leftover omelet. I didn't tell you before about the ingredients. The fact of the matter is, an omelet is really, you can put in however much of the ingredients that you like. But what I did was I used a half a cup of cooked broccoli. Leftover broccoli from the night before is great. I used 2 slices of chopped cooked bacon, and I used half a cup of cheddar in this omelet. And in this one I used half a cup of cooked fresh spinach and half a cup of sliced cooked fresh mushrooms and half a cup of feta cheese. And in this omelet I used 1 small yellow onion that I sliced and caramelized, and 3 thin slices of tomato and 3 slices of Swiss cheese. And I think I showed you in the beginning, they're all 3-egg omelets with a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper and a 1/4 teaspoon of granulated garlic, 1.5 tablespoons of butter in the frying pan, and that's it. You have amazing omelets. These are my 3 favorites. I did make some home fries for the pictures mostly, but when I serve them, to guests or even sometimes for myself, most often I just have the omelet and some toast. But, the home fries are nice, and it is the traditional way to serve an omelet with home fries and toast. As always, there is a lot more information on the blog than there is here in the YouTube video because of time. There is a lot more information about how to serve omelets, ideas of what you can serve them with, and there is a section over on the blog about making omelets for more than 1 or 2 people. So as you can see, like an omelet, was a little time intensive. You're making a little omelet, and these are kind of big, so even if you have 2 people, you might want to split it, you might want to share it, or you just might want to whip up 2. But I have had to make omelets for groups of people on days when we were going hiking or doing something else outdoors, or going out for a big day, to the park. When my son was little, there would be a group of us going, and I have included some information over there about easy ways to make omelets when you need to make them for a group of people. These are fabulous. I am going to have a bite of one of these. I am going to have a bite of my favorite one of these. I know that they've come out amazing because I have made so many omelets in my lifetime that it's kind of silly to even try to count. That is fantastic. The only thing that could make it better is if it was summer and that was garden fresh tomato. I'm going to go sit down with my cousin and I'm going to enjoy these omelets. I hope that you're going to make some for yourself. Make these, they're great. Experiment with your own ingredients. You can put anything that you want to put in there. Just be sure that you cook your ingredients first And be sure that you mix them right in with your egg. As always, I'm glad that you joined me here today. I love that you're here. We are going to get together again, and we are going to do it really soon.